part of you? Like growing up, did you always feel called to go deeper?
I always this longing was always there to center myself again and again, dive deeper. Even as we talk now, I'm moving on with the headlong speed towards the center. And I wish I just close my eyes and just be forgotten.
Ooh, that made my heart.
And it's possible. You don't have to close eyes also. Closing eyes, it's good in the beginning. But you can continue to remain afloat and dive deeper with open eyes also through practice.
Yeah. So you always felt yourself connected to your heart easily, or were you a mind person?
I am fully convinced I'm not a mind person. In fact, there are times, most of the time, I would say, my mind remains empty. I keep fighting. Why no thoughts are coming? Why no? I try to trigger my mind to think something. So I end up watching some, shows on TV or watch some news. So it starts thinking. So it's good in a way to me, because whenever I read something, it provokes me. And then I start thinking in a certain direction. See? And the moment that exercise is done, again I'm back to rest. Mind is at rest. Heart is at peace.
I think you need to bottle that bottle.
It just happens. It just happens. And when this is what transcendence of mind is all about. When heart takes over, that means you have transcended the mind.
Yeah.
And I also felt that, religions and spirituality, they're diametrically opposite. Religion is all about indoctrination, rituals, externalization, right? Temple, mosque, things like the synagogues outside, holy places outside. Belief system is also like that. You believe, but what do you do next after having believed? Suppose you say God is everywhere. God is omnipresent. Okay. Has this concept touched your heart? Do you continue to do bad things everywhere, knowing that God is everywhere? Right? Such things. So indoctrination promotes or provokes your mind. You keep thinking all the time about such concepts that God is everywhere. It's thinking. When you are in the field of spirituality, you begin to perceive the presence. Your heart resonates with everything that is there, and you feel that resonance is with the center of everything. So we move from feelings, we move away from mere thinking of the presence of God to feeling the presence of God. So this is a journey from religion to spirituality. See, many people, they say, oh, I don't believe in any religion, I'm spiritual. But unless you have some basic idea of what God is all about, which religion gives, which is a service religion provides. Without going through kindergarten, how can you enter the high school?
Right. Right.
Yeah. That also doesn't mean that you have to go to kindergarten.
I was going to ask, can you skip?
You can skip. You can definitely skip and move away from thinking altogether to feeling the presence. And then experiencing the presence now and then, it's not such a good thing.
It's not?
No. Because, you see, you'll remain frustrated.
Oh, because you'll want it all the time.
You want it all the time. And even though you may have it all the time, it is still a problem.
Why?
Think over. Only example that I can give you to satisfy you that knowledge is good, but not good enough. Feeling is better, experiencing is better than just the knowledge.
Yes.
Now what we have concluded now that experience is good, but not good enough. The reason is this. Suppose you are invited to some king in India and you are spending 3 months in his palace and you enjoy everything. Hospitality is great, everything's great. You are experiencing a rich hospitality, generous hospitality of a king. But deep down in your heart, what would you think? I wish I was also as rich. Right? So divine experiences are great. But to become divine is another matter. So knowledge, good. Experiences are better. Experiences must move towards, now I must become that experience. Okay. Later on, I have noticed that too becomes a burden to you. Ask any rich man. Richness becomes the burden at some point.
So then ultimately you want for nothing?
You're free from everything. You transcend everything. It sounds very absurd when you say, I renunciate. This renunciation does not mean the lack of it.
Right.
Renunciation means it is there, you're not slave of it.
You don't need it.
If it's there, good. If it's not there, I'm the one who after all made it.
So there is that surrender, or that, I don't know if it's surrender, but the not needing. There's a belief I know from people, and I used to have it, that when you don't need or you don't want, then is there not joy, but is there fun in life? Is there, if you're just always here? Like I feel like people, that's how they often look at meditators and everything, that, there's no excitement in their life.
Yeah. You see, the new craze today is not how much you have, but how much free time you have on your hands. Okay.
Yes.
Despite of working, when you start feeling that I don't feel that I'm working, you have free time all the time.
Right.
If you have the ability of take a day off and say, okay, I'm not going to my office today, isn't it wonderful?
Yeah.
So how are we going to arrive at such a stage that while working, I'm still free? It means love your work so much that it doesn't become a burden to you. Most people love to escape from work because they don't like work.
Yeah.
Ask any mother, take a vacation from your children. So what the hell are you asking me to do? What vacation? Of course, sometimes you do think when it's overwhelming, you think, okay, let me have some, relaxation. But vacation?
Right.
No. It's a curse.
I remember going on vacation and not being able to get out of my mind during it until like day 6. Or the 6th of the 7th day, where everything finally settled. But it took that time to be unburdened from the stuff back at home. Yeah. This is a completely different question, but it's because I see it right behind me. And I got to visit the rainforest yesterday. And I have such a love for trees. I speak to them. I walk with them every morning in Los Angeles. And there's so much life here that I feel. And I was just curious, I want to talk about your love for trees and nature, and has that always been there? Because it's evident as I walked through it, I could feel the energy in there.
I don't know if there is any word, something like more than love. Yeah. It's our life. Trees are our life. There is a beautiful word in Hindi called Jivan. Jivan means life. And I don't know how they must have evolved this word. So if you split this word, J-I, plus one, V-A-N, right? One means the forest, and G means the soul, your life. So your life is connected to the forest, Jivan. I love this Hindi version, the word Jivan for a forest. And also forest also, if you split this word, forest, for rest.
I never did that.
So India says Vanam is for your life. English, forest means it's for rest.
It's so beautiful. I love that.
So
The soul's at peace there.
so much. And they don't demand much from us. What do they need? Nothing much. Cow dung, perhaps, or horse manure, and little bit of water and sunlight.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of mango trees and coconut trees and all those things. We don't give coconut water to coconut trees, or mango juice or orange juice to orange trees.
Yeah. Hey, you want some mango juice? Mango tree.
You just throw cow dung or cow urine or horse dung and sunlight and water. That's it. You see, trees, they take the least and they give you the life-sustaining fruits. Now the question arises about us, the human. We take the best. What is our return? What do we give in return? Or what can we give in return? There are no answers, but it's good to think.
The trees, I say, they save my life because no matter what it is that I'm going through, when I just walk with them, they make everything within settle down. And it's that space that I think you're speaking of when you're just in heart, or when you want for nothing, when there's nothing else but just that moment of full presence.
Well, you try this. One of our elder sisters, I used to call her as Mama, mother, from France. She's no more now, but she told me one beautiful thing, that Kamlesh, adopt one tree or plant one tree, nurture it like your child. And whenever you have issues, health problem, just rest your back on its trunk and always sit prayerfully. You just stand in front of it and offer a prayer that, would you please help me with my issues, whatever they are, and take whatever you need from my system. So when you sit with such respect with a tree, you'll see that there's some exchange, energy exchange will happen. In 5 minutes, you'll see a big change. And if you do this daily, you'll feel that something is shifting daily on a daily basis. And this is good when you lose temper, or you have a headache, or you're drained with energy. Take a help of your tree. And I feel this is a great, great, great thing. Everyone should have at least one tree At least one tree. And if you can plant every birthday one tree, it's super. Or on the anniversaries of your parents, plant a tree.
Yeah, they stay, well, forever. I say forever, but it's giving yourself, it feels like it's returning
You
something.
see, with the trees, we have partnership. They take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. They remove the poisons, right? And they give out oxygen to us. Likewise, they take away the negative energies and give you the positive energy. Okay? They give so many medicines also. Sometimes we say IV is a poison, but IV is also an actor for certain diseases. It depends how you use it. You know, in olden days, Red Indians, especially in the United States, they used to stain their arrow tip with digoxin plant and suit for hunting. It can kill a person. But the same digoxin is a lifesaver when you have heart problem.
Wow. It was special to walk through there yesterday and have doctor show me everything. We put the lipstick on from the plant.
Yeah, those seeds are there. They're called lipstick plant.
Yeah.
But the seeds, when you touch it, it's so colorful and you can... Yeah. And it's non-allergic and it's all organic. Another thing I love with the plants, let's see if I transmit to a human a certain spiritual condition. They hardly retain. It's given now and it's lost in few hours. Very little is retained, just the memory of it perhaps. But you transmit to a tree, it will hold it until it dies. And maybe even after death also, they'll keep on holding on to that state.
What is your hope here with what you've done with Kanha?
Let's have many kanhas on the globe. Very peaceful places where people can go have a retreat, have time for themselves and center themselves, become more creative.
Yeah. I thought that when I arrived and when I was walking through here, and even just seeing what you've created here as such an example for what everyone can do, even on a smaller level.
Yeah, it can be done.
Yeah. Was this a vision? Did you see it all at once, or has it been slowly evolving?
Slowly evolving, I would say. When we do one thing, then it gives you idea, let's do that, and then that.
Yeah. And are you still just letting that flow, or do you have just the big vision?
Yes, it will continue to get more and more refined, more and more refined. And they will also continue growing and keep changing the place. They'll keep absorbing the energy of people. Because almost everyone who comes here, they meditate. So their prayers, their energies, also their well wishes, they are absorbed by these trees and they hold on to it. So I would say these are the banks of good feelings and good energies. You can deposit your good investment on peace with the trees.
That's what I feel here, not just from the trees, but from everybody. I've never, I take vacations, but I haven't done a retreat, a place quite like this. And like I said, as we started, that you could feel the love from everywhere. So I feel the deposits that you're talking about. That I asked you this in our first talk, and you said, I don't know. But I'm going to ask you again. What is the one thing that consistently in your life brings you joy? That it's like your go-to anytime.
Well, when I see now someone's life changed because they practice heartfulness. It overwhelms me with gratitude to God. What a wonderful God. That gives me, that gives you so much of joy. You are witnessing the impact of such practice in someone's life. I used to get very thrilled when I was watching Brighter Minds. You know how children can read with their closed eyes and do so many things. Many people, they think it's a miracle or there's some sort of a cheating there. I also thought like that. Maybe there is something going on here.
That's what I saw it.
But then when your own children can do it and say, Grandpa, there is nothing like that, I can see, then you believe, see. And also when you have thousands and thousands of children doing the same thing, seeing with blindfold, it gives you a lot of joy. And I think the future of such children will be so great because they become so intuitive. They're already intuitive. And that's why they're able to do it. But if they can retain that intuitive power through the practice we offer, they can do magical things when they grow up.
Have you noticed an improvement
Yeah.
in your life, in yourself?
I started reading my opponent's game in badminton, and I have also improved my game a lot. Like I was able to read the opponent's game before he or she used to hit the shuttle. I was able to move to that place. So like that, my game improved a lot, and I started to win a lot of matches.
I was amazed by it.
It's like, those indigo children.
I thought that when I met them and talked about the program, I thought, well, aren't children naturally intuitive? But I hear you're saying, which makes sense, is that it's that maintaining of it. We lose that, right? And
Awakening that ability, maintaining it, or taking it further. Same thing happens in meditation, see. You are awakening the new condition each day through practice. Either you maintain it or take it further. Because there is no, it's always dynamic. Either you take it further or it will die down. Evolution is also like that. Either you keep going up, you cannot say, I'm going to remain status quo or go down. Imagine a fat man. I don't know if I should say fat man or unhealthy, obese person. Okay. Right? When you see the lifestyle and see a person with a six packs, it clearly says there is effort on one side and there is effortlessness on the other side. What we say, couch potatoes. Similar thing happens with efforts and effortlessness in the spiritual world. The vibrations carried by an unhealthy person versus healthy persons, right? You can feel the difference. Mentally healthy and unhealthy. Spiritually healthy and spiritually, and you can clearly see the differences. At the two other levels, you can see vision, you can perceive it with your eyes also. Differences can be seen between a person who is depressed and one who is joyful, right? And others are physically observable. But how do you perceive the spirituality in a person? Okay. Person who is not such a spiritual and person who is so spiritual, you can easily identify it once you begin to meditate properly. Just one look and say, okay, it's all right. This one, too gross, too complicated. And that happens because you're seeing things with your heart. You're seeing from certain heights, you see.
From the top level of the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Daaji, for your time.
Thank you, Shari, for being here at Kanha. And keep coming.
Okay.